the Algarve, from Arabic, oomoo plus or minus ov euro, trans. Al-Gharb, meaning the west, is the southernmost region of mainland Portugal. It has an area of 4,997 square kilometres with 451,005 permanent inhabitants, and incorporates 16 municipalities. The region has as its administrative centre the city of Faro, where both the region's international airport and public university are located. Tourism and related activities are extensive and make up the bulk of the Algarve's summer economy. Production of food, which includes fish and other seafood, fruit, oranges, carob beans, figs and almonds, is also economically important in the region. The Algarve is the most popular tourist destination in Portugal, and one of the most popular in Europe. Its population triples in the peak holiday season thanks to a high influx of visitors, and receives an average of 7 million foreign tourists each year. In total, including national visitors, almost 10 million people visit the Algarve annually. The Algarve is currently the third richest region in Portugal, after Lisbon and Madeira, with a GDP per capita 86% of the European Union average. History. Human presence in southern Portugal dates back to the Paleolithic and Neolithic periods. The presence of megalithic stones in the area of Vila do Bispo attests to this presence. The Conheiros, influenced by Tautessos, were established by the 6th century BC in the region of the Algarve. They would be strongly influenced by the Celtici. The Phoenicians had established trading ports along the coast circa 1000 BC. The Carthaginians founded Portus Hannibaliza, known today as Portima Poundo, in about 550 BC. The Romans in the 2nd century BC spread through the Iberian Peninsula, and many Roman ruins can still be seen in the region, notably in Lagos. Roman bath complexes and fish salting tanks have been found near the shore in several locations, for example the ones near Villamara and Praia da Luz. In the 5th century the Visigoths took control of the Algarve until the beginning of the Muslim conquest in 711. When the Moors conquered Lagos in 716 it was called Zaire. Faro, which the Christian residents had called Santa Maria, was renamed Farain, which means the settlement of the knights. Due to the Moorish conquest of Iberia, the region was called Al-Gharb al-Andalus. Al-Gharb means the west, while Al-Andalus is the Arabic name of Muslim Iberia. But, for several years, the town of Silves was the capital of the region under Moorish rule. In the mid-12th century, during the Reconquista, the Kingdom of Portugal conquered the region in a series of successful military campaigns against the Moors. The Al-Gharb became the Kingdom of the Algarve, but battles with Islamic forces persisted. It was not until the 13th century that the Portuguese finally secured the region against the subsequent Muslim attempts to recapture the area. King Afonso III of Portugal started calling himself King of Portugal and the Algarve. After 1471, with the conquest of several territories in northern Africa, Afonso V of Portugal began fashioning himself as the King of Portugal and the Algarves. Prior to the independence of Brazil, the United Kingdom of Portugal, Brazil and the Algarves was an official designation for Portugal which also alluded to the Algarve. Portuguese monarchs continued used this title until the proclamation of the Portuguese Republic in 1910. Between 1595 and 1808, the Algarve was a semi-autonomous area of Portugal with its own governor, as well as a separate taxation system. In the 15th century, Prince Henry the Navigator based himself near Lagos and conducted various maritime expeditions which established Portugal as a colonial power. It was also from Lagos that Galene set sail in 1434 to become the first seafarer to round Cape Bajada in West Africa. The voyages of discovery brought Lagos fame and fortune. Trade flourished and Lagos became the capital of the historical province of Algarve in 1577 and remained so until after 1755, the year of the fabled Lisbon earthquake. The earthquake damaged many areas in the Algarve and an accompanying tsunami destroyed or damaged coastal fortresses, while coastal towns and villages were heavily damaged. In Lagos, the waves reached the top of the city walls. For many Portuguese coastal regions, including the Algarve, the destructive effects of the tsunami were more disastrous than those of the earthquake proper. In 1807, While due not lead the first Napoleonic invasion in the north of Portugal, the Algarve was occupied by Spanish troops under Manuel Godoy. Beginning in 1808, and after subsequent battles in various towns and villages, the region was the first to drive out the Spanish occupiers. In 1910, with the Portuguese First Republic, the Kingdom of Portugal and the Algarve ceased to exist as such. Geography. The Algarve covers 49.97 square kilometers, extending just south of the Tagus Valley to the southern coast of the Iberian Peninsula. Its highest point is Faro, 902 meters, in the mountain range of Monchique. It also includes some islands and islets. The region is also the home of the Rio Formosa Lagoon, a nature reserve of over 170 square kilometers and a stopping place for hundreds of different birds. The length of the south-facing coastline is approximately 155 kilometers. Beyond the westernmost point of Cape St. Vincent it stretches a further 50 kilometers to the north. The coastline is notable for picturesque limestone caves and grottos, particularly around Lagos, which are accessible by powerboat. Climate. The maximum recorded temperatures in the Algarve fluctuate between 25 degrees Celsius in winter and 48 degrees Celsius in summer, with the temperature almost never falling below zero in the winter months. The winter of 2008/2009 was exceptionally cold and wet. Temperatures below 0 degrees Celsius were recorded for the first time in many years. Human geography. There are about 450,000 permanent inhabitants in the area, although this figure increases to over 1 million people at the height of summer, due to an influx of tourists. The Algarve has several cities, towns and villages. The region's capital is the city of Faro, while other cities include Albufeira, Lagoa, Lagos, Lula Copyright, Olapondo, Portimão, Quitera, Silves, Tavira, and Vila Real de Santo Antacubnio, in addition to various summer retreats such as Vilamara, Praia da Rocha, Arma Picavolt Pondo de Pará, Alva, Monte Gordo, Tavira, and Sagres. Before 2004, the Faro district was the administrative unit governing the Algarve. In 2004 the Greater Metropolitan Area of the Algarve was formed, which was converted into an intermunicipal community in 2008. Algarve is also a NUTS 2 and NUTS 3 statistical region. The intermunicipal community of Algarve is subdivided into 16 municipalities. Economy. Agricultural products of the region include fig, almond, orange, carob bean, strawberry tree and cork oak. Horticulture is important and the region's landscape was known for the large areas of land covered with plastic greenhouses which are used for that end. Fishing and aquaculture are important activities in the coastal area of Algarve, with sardines, soles, cyprinids, gilt-head bream and various seafood, including the grooved carpet shell, being the major productions. Algarve's wines are also renowned. There are 4 wines in the region which have protected designation of origin: Lagoa DOC, Lagos DOC, Portimão DOC and Tavira DOC. Food processing, cement and construction, are the main industries. Tourism-related activities are extensive and make the bulk of Algarve's economy during summer time. The Algarve's economy has always been closely linked to the sea, and fishing has been an important activity since ancient times. Only since the 1960s, has the region embraced tourism, which has become its most important economic activity. Development. Since the 1960s, Algarve has been experiencing a large development due to the need to accommodate its visitors. The region started the construction of better infrastructures, mainly roads, sanitation, power grids, telecommunications, hospitals and better housing. Due to the austerity measures introduced in 2011, tolls have been introduced on the main motorway that crosses the region, which is hoped will offset the expense of its construction. It also started the construction of a huge variety of hotels, resorts, golf courses and villas. All this led to a huge development in the region, especially for locals who had previously lived in poorer circumstances. Today, Algarve is amongst the regions in Portugal with best quality of life and safety. And it's one of the many reasons why millions of tourists, mostly European, choose this sunny part of Portugal as their holiday destination. Tourism. In the 1960s the Algarve became a very popular destination for tourists, mainly from Britain. It has since become a common destination for Germans, Dutch and Irish people. Many of these tourists own their own property in the region. There are Algarve-based English written publications and newspapers specifically addressed to this community. In addition to the natural beauties and plenty of beaches, the Algarve has invested in the creation of a network of golf courses. Well-known beaches in the Algarve range from Marina Beach to Arma Picavolt Pondo de Pará. A well-known spa town is Caldas de Monchique. The Algarve is a popular destination for tourism, primarily because of its beaches, Mediterranean climate, safety, cuisine and relatively low costs. Is also popular for religious tourism, for example with the pilgrimages to the sanctuary of Our Lady of Piety, a Marian shrine dedicated to the patron saint of Al-Gharb, that attract thousands of pilgrims of the Catholic faithful to the city, or with the international pilgrimages to the apparitions site of Our Lady Mother of Goodness occurred near São Paulo Marcos da Serra. Algarve's mild climate has attracted interest from northern Europeans wishing to have a holiday home or residence in the region. Being a region of Portugal, and therefore in the European Union, any EU citizen has the right to freely buy property and reside with little formality in the Algarve. British expatriates, followed by German, Dutch and Scandinavians, are among the largest groups wishing to own a home in this sunny region of Portugal. Tourism plays an important role in the economy of the Algarve. A large number of seasonal job opportunities are tourism-related and are fulfilled by thousands of immigrant workers from other countries. In March 2007, the Minister of Economy, Manuel Pinu, announced the creation of the Algarve brand, as a part of a strategical promotion of the Algarve as a tourism destination for foreign citizens. According to World Travel Awards, Algarve is the Europe's leading golf destination 2013 and 2014. Accommodation. Accommodation in the Algarve ranges from high-rise resorts in places like Albufeira to traditional guest houses, located in the small towns and villages surrounding the Algarve coast. Over the past 50 years the Algarve has seen an increase in development, particularly from non-Portuguese developers. Over the past few years many tourists visiting the Algarve have moved away from the resorts, and have chosen the comfort of a traditional Algarve guesthouse, many of these run by expats from England, Holland, and Germany who have escaped to the Algarve for a higher quality of life. Education. The University of the Algarve, headquartered in Faro with an extension in Portimão, is a public university which awards all academic degrees in fields ranging from marine biology to economics to environmental engineering. There are also several higher education private institutions, state-run and private secondary education schools, including a number of international schools, and a wide network of kindergartens and primary schools. Sports. The Algarve has many sports clubs, including football teams which play in the first, second and third tiers of professional football. SC Farense is the most successful football club in the Algarve, however, after financial troubles it is currently playing in the third level of Portuguese football. The Clube de Ciclismo de Tavira is a noted Portuguese cycling team. The major stadium in the Algarve is the Estadio Algarve, where SC Farense and Lultano play their home matches. The region is also host to the annual Algarve Cup Invitational Tournament for national teams in women's football. The Autocubdromo Internacional do Algarve, a 4,692 km race circuit, is located in Portimão. Culture. The Algarve is famous for its pottery and ceramics, particularly hand-painted pottery and azulejos or tiles. There are numerous ceramics and pottery outlets throughout the Algarve. For working pottery ceramics workshops the main, or best known, pottery centers are located in the towns of almonds, Portuguese and Al-Gharb. But there are many other potteries and workshops in the Algarve region. Notable citizens, Anibal Cavaco Silva, Adelino da Palma Carlos, Anticubnio Alixo, Anticubnio Carvario, Bartolomeu Dias, Carlos Brito, Diogo Rodrigues, Dort Pacheco, Francisco Barreto Gilbert Yans Helena Vieira, Joe Pound Oda Deus, Joe Pound o Mautinu, Joe Pound o Vaz Corti Real, Jose Copyright Mendes Cabia Section Adas, Jose Copyright Miguel Jardice, Jar Leo Dantas, La Dia Jorge, Manuel Teixeira Gomez, Maria Barroso, Maria Cavaco Silva, Maria das Dores Formsinu Vieira, Maria Jose Copyright Rodrigues Rita, Maria Margarida Pinto Ribeiro de Souza Uva, Nuno Jardice, Nuno Chris Apicases, Clive Dunn, British film and television actor, from the 1980s until his death in 2012. Patrick Swift, Catherine Swift, Thomas Cabrera, Gallery. See also, Algarve Al-Andalus, Kingdom of the Algarve, Algarve VR, references. External links, media related to Algarve at Wikimedia Commons, Algarve Holidays a Euroguides, Associa Picavolt Pound o de Turismo do Algarve.